Greetings all, Ferrari Mountain 601 here. Welcome back to Assetto Corsa and welcome aboard RSS Formula Hybrid 2020 for a Hotlap preview of this weekend's Grand Prix venue, Silverstone, host of the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. Silverstone, 5.891 kilometers of legendary tarmac lie before us onto the International Pit Straight. Where is the start-finish line? There it is. The clock has started immediately. The lap begins with this very fast right-hander of Abbey, which then flows into the very fast left-hander of Farm. Both flat-out corners, but our first big stop of the lap happens here at Village Corner, apexing about 124 kilometers an hour, and then leading into a tight right-hander called the Loop, apex speed just 100. Now flat out up through the gearbox through Aintree in 6th gear, DRS onto the Wellington Straight, our first DRS zone of this lap, reaching almost 320 before braking extremely over to the right-hand side of the circuit for throwing in hard over those apex curves for Brooklands. 3rd gear now for Luffield Corner. Understeer tends to set in over the front axle there, but we just deal with it and get on the throttle as early as we can, launching ourselves into Woodcut, and we're already halfway around the lap. Up into 8th gear, the legendary Cops Corner is before us. Just a flick of the steering, hard on the throttle in 8th gear, once in and once out, one motion, absolutely flat. Now into the legendary Maggots and Beckett's complex, utterly flat in these 2020 cars. Beckett's Corner, though, very late apex there, and then a very early exit, which leads you into Chapel, which is now just a kink down the Hanger Straight. DRS open once again, full ERS deploy, up to 326 kilometers an hour, and then deep into the Stowe Corner. Very, very fast right-hander there. Being careful on the exit, though. You don't want to run too wide. Braking now hard for the last time on the lap into Vale. 3rd gear, 130 kilometers an hour through the Club Corner now, flat out, being very, very careful on the throttle, making sure we don't get too much wheel spin. A lap time there of a 125.284. That is not a bad effort indeed. Silverstone is a very demanding circuit technically and physically in terms of the cars and the drivers. The setup here, generally speaking, is a medium to high downforce setup, but the absolute elite level Formula 1 cars, the ones running at the front of the field, generally a more medium downforce setup is what we're looking for, because yes, we do have some very fast corners, but we also have some very long straights here, so you need to find a compromise between straight line speed and cornering grip. The tires, as we saw last weekend at Silverstone, being worked overtime, including to the point of failure in a few cases. We're trying to remedy that this weekend. However, it is a huge technical challenge for the teams, for the cars, as well as a physical challenge for the drivers, because Cops Corner, for example, apex G-force over 6, and they are doing that 52 times over the course of the Grand Prix. Right here at Chapel Corner, some curb extension has been done between the British Grand Prix and the 70th Anniversary Grand Prix. That is to deal with the early exit that you get out of the Beckett's complex there, and then here into Stowe. Just try and take that apex curve as much as you dare, but that exit curve has been modified as well with some serrations over the backside to keep the drivers from cheating too far off of track limits. Club Corner, though, it is a very opportune overtaking moment there, leading up to the start-finish line and the end of the lap. Perhaps we shall see if anybody can catch the Mercedes cars of Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton this weekend. Valtteri Bottas on pole, Lewis Hamilton is going to be alongside him, but will we see any surprises to the tune of Nico Hülkenberg in the Racing Point, deputizing for the ill Sergio Perez? We shall see